Hey guys, it's Claire and I hope you are super well. I'm recording a video today in response to an email I recently received with a whole bunch of awesome questions. I wanted to record a video to answer these because they're questions I get asked quite a bit online and also offline, so I thought I'd record a video in response and share them not only with the lovely Natasha who sent me the email, but also with you, because I think that there is a lot of benefit to be gained by sharing what we have learned and what we know and insights and stories along the way. So let's jump right in. Natasha says, "Hi Claire, happy International Women's Day. Firstly, I wanted to thank you for the message you are sharing with women in Perth and elsewhere, and today is the perfect day to acknowledge you and your work empowering women. I'm studying to be a coach and I'm new to starting up a business. I'm currently researching and would really appreciate some insights from someone more experienced and who I value in the area. My questions are, how did you start your business?" Okay, so I started blogging in February of 2013. I've been sharing via a Facebook page I'd created and on Instagram for about maybe 6 months, maybe a little bit less at that time. So I started building a little bit of a community. I started blogging. I then enrolled at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York via the online version of the course, which is a 12-month course. And so I spent 2013 fully immersed in studying to become a health coach, blogging. I also completed Marie Forleo's online B-School training, which is an excellent business training program. So I fully immersed myself in everything there was to really learn and know about being the best coach that I could be, how to work with clients, how to set up my business. I've also got a postgraduate diploma in business administration and management, so I've done tertiary studies in business as well as some excellent online courses. IIN also has some fabulous business resources as a part of their health coaching program. I did exactly what you were doing, Natasha, and I emailed a whole bunch of people who I also admired and respected and valued their experience and tips as well. So it was very much a process of experimentation, as it still is. And halfway through the health coaching course, at about the 6-month mark, I started to work with clients pro bono. 3-month coaching program with 6 women in exchange for a testimonial if they felt that they wanted to share a positive experience about our time together, which thankfully they did. And that's really how I got the ball rolling. I used my blog as a platform to connect and reach with people. The best thing about having a blog is that you attract like-minded people and you find your tribe, and it works almost like a filter. You know, you attract the people who are going to work best with you and who are interested in your message, and whether or not they work with you or not, in the end, you know, you're able to serve them and to do excellent work in the world. So starting my business was really, I don't want to say it was an accident because it wasn't, but it did happen quite quickly. So it was really a matter of jumping into study, learning and educating myself, following what I was curious about, reaching out to people to work with, giving it away for free, giving lots away for free content, free ebooks, free videos, free coaching, just giving and enjoying the work without the monetary or financial expectations attached. So that was really how I got things off the ground. What were the first 2 years like? Fun. And surprisingly, I was very surprised at the time how quickly things moved. Everything moved very rapidly. The first 2 years, not only was I going through a lot of personal growth and transformation, and blogging was so new, I was meeting so many new people, working with clients was new, I was living in a new place. It was such an exciting time to be putting work out in the world that I felt inspired by and that I believed in, and to be talking about things that meant something to me. And then having people connect with and resonate with that, I mean, this is such a magic feeling. So the first 2 years were exceptional. I learned a lot. I made a lot of mistakes as well. I had to learn quickly. Things moved quickly, so I had to learn really quickly. And you know, I love it. I loved it. I loved it then, and I still love it now. So yeah, they were excellent. Where did you find your first clients? So I find my newsletter list is where a lot of my clients come from, and I think that was where the first 6 came from. Some were people who had already reached out to me and said, like, I'd love to know when are you going to start coaching? People who I knew might really benefit from it too. I actually asked them as well. There were a couple of groups I think that I was a part of that I put out a little call, but I think that now most people do still come to me through word of mouth. So I would also suggest asking friends and family. Do they know anyone who might be interested in working with you? Word of mouth referrals are really powerful because it means that, you know, you're doing an excellent job and that people are having positive experiences with what you're doing. And when we experience something positive for ourselves, you know, we want to tell everyone. We do. We just want to share it, and we want other people to experience the same thing. So I think word of mouth referrals and putting calls out, you know, here and there, definitely through, if you have a mailing list, that can be incredibly useful. It's a much more intimate way to connect with someone, so that's definitely where I find a lot of clients. And I do really believe that giving it away for free in the beginning and doing the pro bono work that I did, it was just so pivotal and important for me to do that, and I always recommend to my clients that they do a bit of pro bono work as well in the beginning, as a way to build momentum, to get experience, to remove that pressure of the financial exchange, and to give yourself permission to make a few mistakes, to figure out your coaching style, to navigate the systems that you're implementing, to do all of those things in a space where, you know, there isn't that expectation or that financial exchange, I believe can be really powerful and quite freeing. What mistakes did you make? All right, mistakes. There has been a few. However, I don't believe in regrets at all, and I do believe that everything, you know, has a purpose and has a lesson for us, and there is a reason. You know, there's always something to be gained from an experience that we might label as a mistake. The couple that spring to mind would be relying too heavily on the paths that have been trod before me, or the structures or the ways of building systems online that I've seen work for someone else, and then using them without really asking myself, does this work for me? So I'll give you an example, would be the hours that I coach. So in the beginning, I wasn't sure when I would work with clients, and so I asked other coaches, when did they work? You know, and a lot worked evenings, some worked weekends, and so I thought, oh, okay, cool, well, I'll do that as well. And I'll sort of just be available whenever for my clients. I quickly realized that just would not work for me because I am not alert after 6 p.m. And I like to have my weekends to spend with my family and my partner, and so I ended up feeling resentful if I was working over the weekend, particularly in the beginning when I was still working part-time. I felt like I never had a day off. So there's a couple of key lessons there. First of all, I didn't have firm boundaries, and we don't know what our boundaries are until we cross them. So again, it's not really a mistake, but to answer your question, even with creating content online, I think it's really easy to get swept up in what other people are doing and what's working for someone else without asking ourselves, you know, does this actually work for me? Is this how I want to be showing up online? Is this how I want to be serving other people? Yet saying that, I do also believe that we need to try things on to see if they fit, and then we assess it. You know, once we've launched a program or a product, we ask ourselves, like, how did that go? We ask the people that we worked with, how was that? We're always seeking feedback, and then we tweak, and then we move on, and then we slowly create this, evolution of a system and a business that works for us because we want to feel our best and we want to be doing our best work in the world. And it also works for our clients and for the people that we want to be serving and working with. So I would say that, the biggest mistakes I've made would be not having firm boundaries that were my own, and creating systems and structures that I may have looked to others. But every mistake teaches you something else about yourself, so I certainly wouldn't take them back either. One thing I will also mention there is you need to take your business seriously in order for other people to take it seriously. So that was perhaps something that I could have done more of in the beginning, but it does grow on you as well as you get used to saying things like, I'm a coach, I'm a women's coach. I work with women who want to take exquisite care of themselves. I work with women who are ready to make positive changes in their life. This is what I do. I found that difficult at the very beginning. Like, I know a lot of coaches do, anyone who makes a career change, to suddenly be stepping into this new role and to have this new hat on. It can feel somewhat uncomfortable to say, this is what I do now and this is who I am. And the more we sit with that and we introduce ourselves in that way, the more it begins to feel more comfortable. So that's a little tip as well I would share for those beginning days, to just experiment with how it feels to say, I'm a coach and this is what I do. What has been your greatest aha moment in setting up your business effectively? That it's possible, I think. I think the biggest aha moment for me over the past few years has been that it's possible. I went into this knowing that it was, because I had evidence and I could see it. There were people around me who were creating this life. Did I really believe it? I don't know. Like I said, the first couple of years were surprising. I was like, wow, this is true. This is real and this is possible for me and for other people. And I see it in my clients every week. People continuously just kicking goals, setting intentions and bringing things to life and creating lives that are sustainable and aligned with what they want and their deepest values. So I think that would be my greatest aha moment, is that it's so possible. What's your recommendation of how to price yourself as a new coach? Okay, awesome question. And again, it's such an experiment and it's still something that I, even a few years into this coaching business, I'm still tweak. Every time I raise my prices or change the structure of my programs, it's always a little bit of a guess. It is a little bit of a guess, but you're the one who gets to decide how much they are. So a few tips: ask yourself, how much money do you need to be making to make this business a reality? Seriously, how much money do you need to be making? Figure that out. What are your expenses? How much profit do you want to make? Do you need to make? Figure that out. When you've got that number, break that down even more. So where will this money be coming from? Is coaching going to be your primary income? How many hours will do you want to be working as a coach? How many clients do you want to be working with? How many days a week do you want to be coaching? If you are going to have other income streams, what will they be? Will they be ebooks or courses or workshops, affiliate programs? What are other ways you're going to be making money? And so once you've got a bit of an idea about the breakdown of your income streams, then you can have a look at, like I said, how many clients do you want to be working with a month? So if you know how much money you need to be making from coaching, and you know how many clients you can realistically work with in a month, keyword is realistically, then you can figure out your pricing from there. That can be a really great way to start to look at things, and it's often how I break things down. Have a look at what other people are pricing, sure, but don't get caught up in that at all, because you will not find a you know, a chronological hierarchy of pricing. You will drive yourself insane if you spend too much time having a look at what other people are charging. Go with your gut. Go with a number that feels a little bit uncomfortable, but not ridiculously so. And remember that what you're providing the world is of immense value, and it's important to value your services. But don't get caught up in the mindset that you need to charge what you are worth as a human or as a person. That's not this, you know, that's not this at all. And that can also be a little bit of a mind trip too. So pick your price, put it out there, see how it goes, get some feedback, and you can tweak it if you need to. You can make it higher or lower at any time. Just pick a price and put it out there and see what happens. Next question. Would you be open to opportunities to collaborate with other coaches? And if so, what sort of collaboration would be valuable to you? I love collaborating with other people. I've done a workshop with another coach, my very dear friend, Emily. We did a workshop last year, which was excellent, and I loved creating that experience together. I've done other workshops with other coaches and yoga teachers. I really find that having another person to collaborate with, whether it's a workshop or an online course, an ebook, or even a coaching program, I definitely think collaboration is excellent and a powerful way to share, even more knowledge and experience and stories with more people. It's fun, it holds you accountable, which is a big thing. It provides support. Collaboration is excellent. So I am always open to collaborations. I definitely recommend that you give them a go too if that's something that you feel like doing. What advice would you give to anyone starting out as a coach? And this is Natasha's final question. My advice would be to be yourself, and I really mean that. Just be yourself. It's really easy, and this is something I'm learning to this day, to get into the mindset that we have as coaches, that we have to have our life sorted, that all the boxes need to be ticked all the time, that everything needs to be perfect, and that we need to sort of present this image of like everything's always happy and shiny. And it's such a load of crap, to be honest. We want to work with people, and we want to be a coach, and we want to be a human being in the world who is real and who is honest. And sometimes that means sharing some of the messy, darker part of our lives. Sometimes it does mean sharing our light. Being vulnerable isn't always about stepping into the darkness. It's also stepping into the light. So you just be who you are. Don't tone yourself down. Know that showing up as a real life human being is service in itself, and it gives other people permission to do the same thing in their own life. And there are so many of us walking around with masks and expectations and guilt and baggage and frustration, and seeing someone else just be themselves. I mean, that always reminds me that I have permission to do the exact same thing. It's like a lightness lifts off my shoulders, and people want to work with someone intimately and privately in a coaching partnership who exhibits those qualities. So be who you are. If you have a blog, share the real stuff, share the light, share the dark, share it all, celebrate it all. Get your system sorted. So switching it more to a practical level, get your accounting sorted from day one, get support, get a coach of your own, work with mentor, create a mastermind, get your community, like rally your troops, I guess, get people around you who believe in what you're doing and who are there for you when you need some advice, which you will need. So get support, get your systems sorted. Be honest with yourself and ask yourself regularly, is this working? It's a good one to ask all the time. Is this working? What do I need more of right now? What do I need less of right now? What could shift? What could change? How can this evolve? Do these regular check-ins with yourself all the time, because when you're going into business and it's just you, in the beginning at least, you're wearing all the hats, all of them. You're wearing all the hats. So you need to be, the CEO of your own coaching company, and you need to be checking in all the time, like what's working. Give yourself space in the week to do that. Give yourself space in the week that's purely for creativity, that's purely for making products or for blogging or for marketing. Be really, really firm and flexible with your boundaries about what your week looks like, and, take yourself seriously. Be kind and compassionate with yourself as you're learning the ropes, and be proud of yourself for making the decision to step into this role as a coach, because it is a pretty new career choice, really, and it can feel a little bit strange when we decide that this is the route we're going to take, because for a lot of us, it isn't necessarily what we maybe left school thinking we were going to be, or even that we have a degree in that, it's not that. It's not what we thought we were going to end up doing. It's our parents ask us, like, what are you talking about? What is a life coach? I don't understand. Our friends ask us these questions. It's still fresh and new, and while it can often feel that there are so many coaches and the market is saturated, the reality is that's often just the groups that we're hanging out with. And the truth is that this work is really important. It's really needed. There are more than enough clients for everyone. So if you can show up as yourself and believe in yourself, get those systems sorted, you're going to be an excellent coach, and you've definitely got my support, my full support and enthusiasm and encouragement. And I hope that for everyone else watching today that you've taken something from this. If you have any other questions, I'd love to hear them in the comments below, or any other tips that you might like to share for Natasha too. I know there's plenty of coaches in our community and aspiring coaches. So let's hear it in the comments for a discussion and conversation. And that's it for me. I'll sign off now. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll speak to you soon. Ciao.